All right, so Concrete Guy just dropped off the first load of basically pea gravel, but it's like called chips. We just need to find the finished grade so that we can bring this gravel up to the exact height where we are going to be installing our foam insulation board that our PEX radiant heating is going to be installed into. And this is the heat sheet heavy. This is 3/4 of an inch from the back face to the tops of these little nodules. And these are what we're going to run our radiant tubing through. This stuff is super rigid. I hope it holds up because the goal is going to be to buggy all of this concrete in. We're going to have 2 buggies running, and that's because we really don't have a good way to get it in any other way. A pump truck isn't going to work with the setup, and neither is a conveyor truck. So we've decided the buggy, and we're going to run plywood over top of this. All that to say, the first thing we need to do is get our gravel elevation determined. I've gone around and I got my laser set at a 0 point, which is top of wall. I'm gonna have a 2-inch curb, which means I need to go down 2 inches, plus a 5-inch concrete floor. Not to be confusing, but because these nodules, whatever they're called, I call them a nodule, that's what they remind me of, they stick up, we're gonna go 4 3/4 of an inch to the tops, and then this will fill in with concrete around here. It'll be basically like a 5, maybe a little bit heavier than a 5-inch floor. So we've got 2 inches, we've got 4 3/4, which is 6 3/4, and then we have a 3 1/4 inch foam, which if you do the math, it's 10 inches. So I'm at 0. I will now take my grade stick, I will drop it to +10. I'm an absolute idiot because I'm talking to you guys and I'm not thinking. I need to go -10 because I need to be 10 inches in the ground. That's what happens sometimes when you're making content and you're thinking about the next 10 things you're gonna talk about. So now when I set this up, right here, I'm about an inch and 1/4 low for my gravel. So what we're gonna do is I've got a can of spray paint. We're gonna kind of go around and just spot check this entire floor. And we're just gonna write on the gravel with some spray paint, +1, +2, whatever, so that when we bring the gravel in, we know, hey, right here, this is like a 2-inch area. So we can get it really close before we start striking it off and getting it perfect. So we can compact it, so we can put the foam on it. While this is set up, we're gonna snap lines around the perimeter so that we can see visually around the outside where we're going to take our gravel up to, so when we are kind of striking it off or grading it out, we have a good visual and we don't have to keep checking with this guy right here. Oh no, dude. What are we gonna do about all these leaves inside? It's organic matter that will decompose and then my building will fall apart.
Yeah, you're right. I think this building's doomed.
All right, cool. Now that we got all these marked, we can snap lines and kind of get the perimeter up to grade, I think. All right, we've got grade figured out. We got lines snapped around the perimeter, and we just got our second load of 3/8 chips. So we're gonna go ahead and get the skid loader turned on, and we're gonna start getting this sucker hopefully brought up to the nice final grade and get it ready for our heat sheet insulation panel on the ground so we can get the tubes, so we can get onto concrete floor. I'm pumped, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, but also super excited. All right, this might be a little overkill, guys. We're putting our big aluminum plate. I don't know, this used to be actually part of a sliding door.
Sliding door, yeah.
Yeah, sliding door parts. So they're nice, straight, lightweight. So what we're doing is we're just setting this basically at grade and then using the other one to, just strike it off, which I don't think is too uncommon. Maybe it's a little overkill, but I wanted this as flat as possible so when we do our heat sheet, it's laying perfect because they're gonna be buggying the concrete in here and driving over top of the foam. We're gonna lay plywood over the foam to protect it, but the more unlevel it is, the better chance we have of cracking the foam, damaging the foam. And if it's dead nuts level, they're just gonna drive right over it. It's gonna be perfect. So we're just gonna keep working our way right out to the door, and hopefully the plumbing inspector comes and lets us close this trench over here so we can get this finished. Look at this, the 2 best laborers I know right here. Well, yeah, 2 best, Cole and Greg. See, Cole's able to run that side on that rail that we set with the laser, and then I'm just pulling it to my line here, and Greg is just filling in the low spots, pulling back the piles. You wanna just get this out of my, starting to pull a little bit. All right, and I'm just following my snap line we made. Gonna be the flattest floor this side of the
Mississippi Route 2, Route 30. Just letting everyone know where you live.
It'll be flatter than Mother Earth, you know?
Wait.
There we go. Down 16th. Cole, would you just lay that like little bit right here, this bigger rock, just lay, no, the big rock, lay that, yeah, lay that flat. There you go. We just want to make sure we kind of, there you go, yeah. Okay.
Nice.
All right, good. Here you go, buddy. Oh! They say the perfect strike off doesn't exist. No, that's nice, dude. All right, finish this, Cole. All right. All right, cool. Well, that's what happens when you let a couple post framers who try to build within, you know, 1/16 of an inch do the subgrade, final subgrade. You know, the reason I wanted this so perfect was because I know I'm gonna be laying the foam on here, and then they're gonna be driving over the foam. There's gonna be the radiant tubing installed in the foam. And if it's not level and flat and you're walking on that foam and it's creaking and all the staples that you might have are popping out, or, you know, this here heat sheet, the tubes actually get compressed around these little pegs or nodules in the sheet, and I don't want that coming out. So I think this was probably worth the time it took Greg and I don't know. And then Cole came out, helped us out. Took us a couple hours probably. Once we got things going, we got our grade figured out. Luckily I had these aluminum, like 18-foot 2x basically. They're for sliding doors, and they made it really nice and easy to just strike it off and have a good level line to strike it to. So we'll get on the other side, and then this thing will be ready to run our heat sheet and our tubing. Well, this is nervous and anxious and exciting all at the same time. We've got 2 different concrete crews here all helping to prep this so we can get this concrete poured. I'm bringing chips. Greg is getting vibration done, or compaction, or I guess I should say consolidation, because we're not compacting the chip. But there's a lot gonna happen over these next 2 days, guys. I'm super excited, and by the end of it, we should have a nice concrete floor. I really like this. I'm just sitting in the machine watching all these guys work. Need some more?
That's about spot on.
Yeah, 12 volts right on, aren't you really?
Little load right there. Get out of here. Up a 1/2 inch.
Heck yeah. Down a 1/2 inch.
Yeah, down an inch.
Down an inch. right, going good, guys. We've got most of the gravel laid down. We're vibrating that, compacting it right now, and we're gonna start laying out our heat sheet heavy, which is the insulation for our radiant floor that also has the built-in tubing layout so that we don't have to try to figure out our layout, staple it down. Well, we should do minimal stapling, but this first time using this product, I'm sure there's gonna be a learning curve. I'm excited, and I can't wait to get this down. So let's get this over there. We'll get it opened up and get it laid out. We got to start in the left corner. I'm gonna go the long way so we don't have as much cutting to do. So we can go all the way out there. Even though we won't have the cutoffs yet, we'll just take the cutoffs to the next row that we're doing when we get there. But we need some of that flat stuff too. The tape. First time installing heat sheet heavy, and I think it's gonna go together pretty good, but I do believe there's probably some learning curve to getting the system locked in. Looks like we need to start in the one corner because this is our overlap. That way we have access to our underlap groove, because this is all like kind of like a self-locking system. Greg, I was told that there was a center line somewhere that we would know where we were going to cut it. We want to cut it so that all the nodules or whatever line up continuously. You see what I'm saying?
I'm assuming that
No. It doesn't cut there. It has to cut through
like
a middle. Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably on either side of this.
I don't know. We're gonna kind of get this thing going, and we'll figure it out. Just being able to take this guy, just so I can kind of see about where the circle is. It's just, okay, that's gonna work. So now these guys are just gonna line up, and I'm told we do not have to do like a brick pattern, but I'm definitely gonna do a brick pattern just because I feel like that'll keep this from kind of growing on me and it'll keep everything nice and locked in. The only thing is, we need to make sure that the grid is lined up. This is some dang solid stuff though to walk on. All right, you'll see here I've got one sheet of the Subterra here. Actually, I've got two sheets because this is where all my radiant tubing is coming up the wall, and I can't take it down on top of this stuff because of all those nodules. I'm gonna have 32 different pipes going out of this floor, and they're all gonna be like a spider web coming out here, so I want a nice flat surface that I can staple to and take it where I want it, and then it will go out into that. So I don't know if it's gonna be one sheet or two sheets, but definitely gonna start with one.
You want like super tight or?
I feel like anytime I think, oh, this is gonna be some good content, this is something I've never really done, I can't wait to share it with everybody. It's also the most stressful part of the job. Like, I got two crews of guys here. They're gonna be right on top of us in 2 seconds probably, helping us lay this out because they'll have final grade done. And we're pushing to get this concrete poured tomorrow. So all this prep work's gotta get done, all the insulation and then all the tubing laid out. So I'm gonna do my best, guys, to not just blow through this. There we go. This is lower than the nodule height, which is 5-inch concrete. So yeah, this should be good. That's kind of the only section I'm gonna do with the Subterra. The rest is gonna go back to the heat sheet heavy. I think that's all the space I'll need for my piping to kind of come out. So here's my design, guys. This is the layout. You can see all those different colored pipes. Those are all the different runs. And you can see right here, you see how many pipes come out? Now that's a CAD drawing. It's going to not be exactly like this, but I need to get all of these different runs out of this area and get into the corresponding channels on my heat sheet heavy. Having the Subterra halo here, this is gonna help me just to get all these pipes out into a path where they belong. So I think I'm gonna do this. This is gonna work just fine. This is just to keep them locked in. I'm just gonna lay some of these out. I'm tired of walking back and forth. Am I too tight to get on that back?
Yeah.
Am I though?
It's gonna be just.
It's gonna be just over 2
just
foot,
over
dude.
2 foot, yeah.
So that's okay though. We'll just make sure that we use the nodule lineup tool on these boards to get whatever the waste is. We'll start with it down there, okay? I need like a board that I can put flat and hit it because I don't want to ruin the styrofoam, but I need to tap these tight sometimes. Okay, so take a look at this, guys. As I'm working this, you see these lines? I need them all to line up to each other. So I need to just keep an eye on it and just hit them over. That way it stays in the right layout because you don't want to get off, otherwise your tubing is going to get off. Oh, these things go together really nice. Dude, I know it does not matter. This is all gonna be covered with concrete, but the fact that this product looks so mint and clean, perfectly lined up, just the staggers, everything is so good. I like working with products that look good. The aesthetic is probably my OCD, I don't know what it is, but it's just going together so nice. The rigidity of it, to walk on it. Have you guys ever walked on a 4x8 sheet on a grade? If that grade's not perfect, you're walking on it, it's cracking underneath your feet, the tape joints are coming apart. This has no tape because of that. It's not a tongue and groove, it's just kind of like it's a locking system. I'm in love with this so far. Honestly, I can't say enough good about it so far, but I haven't started running tubes, which I think is where supposedly the real benefit of this is gonna come through. So let's keep running this stuff, get it down so we can start running the tube, which is gonna be a lot of work too. Yeah, I can see that. This sucker's full of water, look at that. Nice thing about this foam is it doesn't hold the water nearly as much as other foams out on the market, the EPS. So that is another benefit of using this product, other than just the fact that it's got that sweet system for running the tubing. You know, I think I'm just as happy to get rid of this pile of insulation that has been sitting out here at my job site because it just looks kind of unsightly. The cool thing is, or maybe it's not cool because I just said I'm happy to get rid of this, is that pretty soon I'm going to be getting more insulation for the inside, which will all be rock wool. And we all know that that's more red pallets of insulation. So I kind of need to get rid of this. But next time I'm going to do a little bit better job so it looks a little bit tidier. I don't know if I've worked this hard in a while, and it's all down on my knees, bending over, putting these sheets in. You know, you got to really respect the concrete guys out there doing this work. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's as, you know, you're not thinking as much about measurements and numbers and slope and, well, I guess they do think about slope. I don't want to make a concrete guy sound like he's not doing much. I'm saying this is a hard job when you're grading gravel down on your knees, but it's fun. I actually enjoy it. All right, last one right here, guys. All cut up. Greg got it nice and cut. And just like that, AMC heat sheet heavy. I've only used it one time, and we did a lot of the subgrade ourselves with the help of our concrete guy. Turned out great, went down really nice. And the next thing will be doing the tubing, which also never done on this. So that will determine really how good this product is, because I think that's the selling point, is they claim faster tubing install than a normal staple down system. So that'll be the next video, guys. If you're interested to see how this keeps going, because we're gonna be working towards a finished concrete floor here by the end of tomorrow, my time. So we got a lot of work to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow along. If you enjoyed this video, give me that thumbs up and drop a comment down below if maybe there's something we did that we should have thought about for the next job, something that we could do different or better. Or hey, if you just like this, tell me what you thought about it. And with that, I'm gonna get back to work for our next video, which will be the tubing install. Catch you later, guys. I just haven't quite figured out exactly what the best path is.